Hey there. Well, it's raining again. Like I said, it's been a wet June. It's been really nice, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I could not get away without doing one more video on how we talk about climate change and CO2 in the atmosphere. Some of the metaphors, um, analogies, comparisons, whatever. So we used the blanket analogy. We talk about the Earth being, a greenhouse. You're having the greenhouse effect when we pump more CO2 into the atmosphere. Okay, so how do these break down? And I honestly don't know if I'm being pedantic here. I would say that I am, except for the fact that we're asked to make life-altering decisions. Who we're going to hang out with, whether or not we're going to throw our detractors in prison over their opinions, and on a daily basis, somebody in Congress is talking this way. So it is a little scary. And these are people who, have they done the science? Have they looked at the data? Are they out here testing things? Probably not. They're probably going off of things or going off of conclusions that they're drawing from analogies and from comparisons, like the blanket, calling CO2 a blanket, and warming up the Earth, or CO2 is a greenhouse, or is causing the greenhouse effect. And even Bill Nye, look, I Googled this, Bill Nye lighting a globe on fire. Just hilarious. I mean, really, really, really hilarious. He lights the globe on fire, throws his safety glasses, and uses some profanity. Really effective, really hilarious, but once again, scary. So we should probably look into these metaphors and the way that we talk about the CO2 in the atmosphere. Okay, so once again, the blanket analogy and the greenhouse effect, how are they breaking down further than what we've already talked about? So I realized what I missed in the last couple videos is the fact that there is something that the scientists do when they want to, recreate the Earth or something. It's this environment, right? It's not a greenhouse. It's not throw a blanket over a terrarium. They create a biosphere, biodome. Have you ever seen that movie, Biodome? Pauly Shore and I think Adam Baldwin. No, Stephen Baldwin. I'm not saying you should go watch it. It's funny though. I don't know. Do what you want to do. But you would see a biodome. There was a craze maybe 20 or 30 years ago at creating these things. I don't know where it went. I haven't heard of any being spun up recently, which is kind of weird. Back in the day when they were going on, people I guess would go into them. It was weird to think about the fact that they wouldn't be coming out, say, for a while, but it's been years. So hopefully they're out. Okay, so how they break down is kind of illustrated by the biosphere. Greenhouses, and then the blanket covering your body with, trapping that half inch of air, say, and keeping it from conducting heat, from transferring heat via convection to the outside air. Those are very, very kind of like one-sided or very simplistic models, right? Or like environments. Your greenhouse is very monolithic. I mean, there's lots of plants in it, maybe, but there's no oceans. It's not tall enough for the moisture to go up and create clouds and come back down and cool the environment in there. At least I don't think it is. So I don't know. Maybe you already know this. Like I said, maybe I'm being pedantic, but that's why those analogies can only be pushed so far. They're good ways to enter the conversation. They do communicate something, but they end up getting used to communicate way too much. So what I'm putting forth is that the oceans and the rivers and the moisture, you maybe can see it falling here, I don't know. Can you see that sweet infrared radiation up there? Probably not, just joking. All of those things, the more complicated environment that we have is going to take that heat, I would think, mix it around, and it's going to cool. It's not going to stay there. It's not static. It's not trapping, the CO2 in the atmosphere isn't trapping that layer of air, which helps you to stay warm under a blanket. And in a greenhouse, like I said, there's no oceans. None of this precipitation is going on. It might be able to be forced, or it might be able to be simulated a little bit, but I think those environments are probably a little too small. So once again, I'm putting this forward. I haven't tested this. I just thought about this, and yeah, sadly, this took some thought. Hopefully, I'm sparing you that thought, or that time. You can have your time back. I want my time back. I guess that's it. Go watch Biodome.